Hello and welcome to Pals Pulls. It's a dynamic duo night. It's just
Uh-oh.
just just me and one other pal. I am joined by Marco.
What, Marco? Wow, the bestest pal. The justest pal?
Well, you can't be the bestest pal because I was voted pal of the
Oh,
year.
that's
So I do
right.
have to I do have to pull rank on that.
Stake claim, stake claim. I get that.
So that's Marco. I am Sean. Thank you for joining us. Whether you are live or in the future, we've got big time books to talk about today. Lots of really, really good stuff. We've got
Count 'em.
six of this week's biggest releases. We've got Ultimate Spider-Man number 13.
Nice. Got the nice
We've
cover.
got, yeah, right. We've got Fantastic Four number 28. Absolute Wonder Woman number 4. Justice League Unlimited number 3.
With my boy.
Swampy,
Swampy.
you got done dirty. Uh,
Bruh.
Superman number 22, that's the listener pick, and a little bit of indie representation in Hyde Street
Let's
number
go.
3. So this has to represent the biggest books in what has been a big week for comics. We've got a lot to talk about. We are going to dive into it all right now. I do want to say, smash that like button
Smack.
if you enjoy this podcast. If you enjoy what we do, we are on the road to 5,000 subscribers. So help us get there by being subscribed if you are watching us. I tend to assume those of you who are going to be here at 6:04 are subscribed, but it's worth putting it out there.
Dude, at 5:54, like
Right. Yeah. We've got some early birds. I love to see it. Let's get into our first book. Let's jump right in. That is going to be Ultimate Spider-Man. I think a lot of us have been waiting with bated breath to see what this issue would do. There was so much conversation about, this or that, talking about the time breaks and when is this going to take place. We got our answer extremely quickly. So this is written by Jonathan Hickman, of course, with art by Marco Cicchetto. Joining them, as always, Corey Pettit on the letters. Colors by Matthew Wilson. So you turn the page, right? You get into it, and the very first story page tells you we're in January, which
yep.
we knew it would be January. It's one issue a month, but it's the 31st of the month.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Convenient.
And before we start really talking about the content of this book, I want to say to everybody who thought that they were so smart and so ahead of the curve and just picking up on shit that I can't figure out in my big dumb brain, that said, oh, no, 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 no. Jonathan Hickman's not going to set it a month literally ahead. It's going to be a few days. It's into January, and we're going to see what happens.
I remember when that discourse was happening, and there were people in our chat saying the same thing. Oh, surely they're gonna give it a accurate timeline, dude. The last day of the month, like sending the message home.
Not only was it not a week later or some bullshit like people were trying to sell me on, telling me I'm wrong, it's over a month later
Yeah.
because the last issue was on Christmas.
Yep.
So eat shit. That's number one.
Tell him. Get your shit out
I
there,
have
dude.
to. I have to. That aside, to all the doubters. Let's talk about the actual comic. So before we get to see, what is actually going on with Peter and Harry, who have been kidnapped by Kraven, we see Peter's son, Richard, has been going out on, I don't know if missions is the right word, but web slinging and sightseeing with the I mean, symbiote isn't the right word with
The
the Peter
Nano
clone
Peter.
AI nano. Yeah,
Uh, so seeing that, and then the month, time jump, month plus, I'm like, oh shit, did he die? Which I think maybe he's playing into, obviously, oh, like Peter's back, or a version of the Spider-Man is back. Let's see who that is. So I'm glad that Hickman did that, because I wasn't sure what to expect, and it gave it to me right away. Cool. Now that he knows, now this will become, or can become, a family affair, which means that extends the danger of the family. Sure, the knowledge of them being associated to Peter is dangerous in and of itself. But to what the suit was saying, now they themselves can put themselves in danger. And we get that with a reveal towards the end. So I thought that was interesting. It upped the stakes for me, which I think this book needed to do, for me to stay on the wagon. I walked away with this one from this issue as it being a satisfying issue, especially coming from where we have been the past couple. So I was excited to see Richard. I was excited about the potential of what can happen and the danger that he can now be associated with.
I'm actually blown away by this comic book because for weeks now we've been talking about how exciting it is and what's going to happen with Kraven and like are these guys alive or dead? Like what is going on? And you open the issue, you're so excited to see what's going to happen, and you see Peter's son, he's got the Venom suit on. Okay, cool. But then you get into the Kraven of it all.
Hmm.
And I'm expecting these guys are running through the jungle, being chased down, bloodied, hungry, fighting for their lives. That's what I'm anticipating. None of that happens.
Yeah.
None of it.
Steak dinner, bro.
My man was eating, they were eating dinner. They were chowing down on some grub. And Craven, Mysterio, and the Mole Man have a chat.
Yep.
That's it. That's it.
I so yeah. Did that weaken Craven for you? Did that like weaken the impact of all that's been going on with that?
It weakened all of it, and I'm not gonna stop buying this comic,
Balance.
but I am so disappointed. I really am. If you guys heard Pal's previews this week, I talked about how I thought this was gonna be my pick of the week, and this book consistently refuses to deliver. Every month in, month out, the one thing you can count on is that Ultimate Spider-Man will not deliver on what you want. That has been a guarantee. The only thing I cared about was seeing these two dudes fighting for their lives. And that doesn't happen. So now I have to wait another issue to see what happens in February to these two. So they're just going to be running around in the jungle for a month?
And that was the other thing, is just like, okay, the real time is passing, so we should be concerned about these things, like, but the book isn't the book is treating it like it's like this is going to happen over the next couple of days. Obviously, Hickman is telling a story that is month to month. Maybe January 31st turns into February 1st.
We played that game last week or last month. I'm not even interested in that game.
Yeah.
The conceit is a month. Generally speaking, a month passes between stories. Nobody can point to me a time where that wasn't true. So I have very little reason to believe that the story will play out that way. And that, in and of itself, is not enough to justify to me what I am paying, which is $4.99, for a book that leaves me with blue balls every single issue. Every issue. 12 was like, oh my God, this is great comics. I can't wait to see Bombshell finish. Where are we going with this? The answer is nowhere. 13 issues in, and we have gone nowhere.
And not only that, but I think any kind of progression gets hampered, because uh, whatever's going to happen with with Black Cat, and with Richard here, who, the time in between that has to pass as well. We're left on that as a cliffhanger for his character, for those interactions. So on two fronts, on actually on any front that this book comes across, we will be left with a potentially unsatisfying conclusion.
Right. And it's like I feel like I've been conditioned to feel that way. That there won't be payoff. And that's really really frustrating. You know, like they're in the Savage Land now, which there's the Savage Land is essentially under, I think, Staten Island. Should have been
Ooh.
under Long Island.
Where,
Um,
yeah, I mean, dirty Staten Island,
okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's true. Um, Mysterio is involved for some reason. It's obviously Gwen Stacy, right? Like it's very apparent to me that this is not that this is not
like a real Mysterio.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
look at the way he strokes look at the way Mysterio strokes Harry's head. What's up with that? That looks loving.
Oh, interesting. I didn't get that. That's an interesting read for that.
And then Mysterio is speaking with Kraven, and Kraven says, "I hope you don't plan to stop me." Mysterio says, "No, where's the fun in that? No, what I want is to see them." So
Hmm.
Mysterio gets in to see them, learns information, asks Kraven a lot of questions about what the plan is, and blah blah blah. And it's like, why are you even here? It makes sense why Mole Man is here. This is his domain.
Right.
Why is Mysterio here? Just to see them? What's the point? It feels like there's something more to that, which is interesting.
And actually, to that point, when he says, don't even think about hurting her, or Mysterio is looming over him.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So that's interesting. It's a lot of like laying things down, but this whole book has been laying things down. And
So the chat.
I see the chat and I see you guys disagreeing. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. The fact of the matter is that every single time I read this comic, I am left disappointed because what's promised is never what is delivered. Look at this cover. They look like they're looking for, salvation. Kraven is looking, menacing and nefarious in the background. Does that happen? No. There was the cover that showed Black Cat and Spider-Man meeting. Did that happen? To the best of my recollection, no, that did not happen. So the covers are lies. The last page, teasers are lies, and this format is not helping. It's just not helping.
And I feel like to everybody who thinks we're like dragging this book, this is the highest point it's been for me so far. But the story, the narrative function, the narrative tool of 1 month is hampering the book. And it doesn't mean that the material inside is bad. The writing's always tight. It's just the way that we're being sent this information, the way that this is progressing.
Yeah, and you're right. Like the artist is outstanding as well. Marco Cicchetto does a tremendous job as per usual. And Hickman's script is tight.
Yeah.
It's well written. I'm not happy with what is happening. It's like you're already introducing the potential of Venom. You're already introducing Black Cat. Kraven, Mysterio, and the Mole Man all know who Peter Parker is, alongside Harry Osborn and Gwen Stacy and Peter's entire family. So there's no mystery as far as his secret identity. It doesn't exist, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And we just did a video about this that's going to drop for our channel members tomorrow about secret identity. Well, actually, it might not, given what's going on with Tyler. Get well soon to Tyler, by the way. He can tell his story on his own time, but It might not be able to drop tomorrow, but we are dropping it. And it's like this book gives no care at all for Peter's secret identity.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point because there was a moment above where Kraven's like, well, they'll have to kill me, but presumably if they know all this information about them, is that where we're heading to? Will they, the villainous defeat only go so far when the reality of I can threaten your family exists and looms over their heads?
Constantly.
Right.
And so how do you resolve that? Because if Kraven knows it and Mole Man knows it and Mysterio knows it, assuming Mysterio is really, a villain, that means that everybody else, all the other villains, have the capacity to know that Peter is Spider-Man.
Right.
So why aren't they just killing his family? Why don't they just kidnap his family?
King, if they haven't disclosed this information, Kingpin gets that information, done.
Dead. Over.
Yeah, game over.
And so I feel that there's a lot of suspension of disbelief that has to happen for me in order to enjoy this book. And I understand we're talking about comics, but that's a cop-out. That's a cop-out. Logical consistency within storytelling is always paramount. And I am having trouble wrapping my head around some of what I consider to be inconsistencies. These guys are trapped. They cannot escape, theoretically. They've been gone for 2 months.
Yeah.
They've been gone for 2 months. So, yeah, go ahead.
You think Venom and Mary Jane are? She needs, she needs her bed warm, bro. Like, I think he's lying.
Well, he did give that edict, and I'm pretty sure she already knows. She already knows what we're dealing with here. So I don't think she's gonna lay in bed with a nanobot.
And I think something else that has been a gripe for me is how little care certain situations, like how little care or little horror there is in interactions. There's been moments where, for example, Mary Jane learns that he's Peter, right? Okay, oh my God, you could be in danger. Let's noodle around, right?
Right.
And then now with Richard, oh yeah, I miss my dad. Thwip, like just like gallivanting the city. I feel like the emotional weight of these situations also doesn't come through.
Yeah, I would love to know what Mary Jane is feeling about this. Don't see her; she's not present. How's their daughter? How are Ben and Triple J handling this situation?
Oh, yeah.
The scope of this is so small, and it remains that way because you cannot have an arc the way we traditionally understand story arcs because they typically, follow each other in moments of time. But you have to get a lot into these issues, but you can't spread yourself too thin either. So I just feel like, to me, this book is set up for failure. Not financial failure, obviously not. It's Spider-Man, please. But narrative failure, to me.
I will say, Chichetto, Velociraptors, more Savage Land, please. If that's what we're getting all of next issue, more.
Yeah. I mean, Chichetto is fantastic. He is, at the moment, he's the biggest draw for this series. It's just so good looking. And that's another thing. No MJ. Like, I want to see her. I want to see her in every issue. I want to see that character drawn by Marco Checchetto every time. And we didn't get that.
Yeah.
So I feel robbed.
Do you mind, like, second to last page? There's an interaction where I like that Checchetto keeps like momentum going. Where Richard it's 11:58, back in the city. Richard is thwipping through the air, and then Black Cat. Go to the Black Cat panels. The
next page.
No, that same page.
Okay.
But she puts her hand out, right. The disc presumably flies through the air. Great use of time there, and then that momentum that Richard's been carrying, the page, it comes onto the page, it like jumps. That force is maintained. That momentum is conserved. It's really cool.
Hell yeah. Yeah, absolutely. There are some great visuals here, although again, a large majority of this issue is talking, which, again, chat, there's nothing wrong with talky issues. Jonathan Hickman is my favorite writer. I am accustomed to this. That is not the problem at all. You're barking up the wrong tree with that argument. It's not that there's no action, it's that nothing happens. Those are not the same thing.
Yeah. Samuel Summers, thank you so much for the $5 spot. This book has been okay. I just wish this book was better. The payoff needs to be huge. I feel like the people who like this love Hickman, and that's it.
Thanks, Samuel. Yeah, I completely agree that it's just okay. And there's nothing wrong with loving Hickman, obviously. I think we probably all love Jonathan Hickman. More to the point, I think that it's people who desperately love Spider-Man and want to see a story in which he is married and has kids, and for that, all sins are forgiven. I don't think that way. I need a little bit more than that. Look at like Ultimate Spider-Man and how much drama there was in Peter's life. There is no drama in Peter's life. Peter doesn't even have a life.
Yeah.
Like his life is so set. And by the way, that's why Marvel doesn't want to marry mainline Peter. Because look at this. 13 issues deep, you can count the amount of appearances that the kids have had. Mary Jane is a ghost. There's no personal development because all that shit already happened off screen.
And they don't make it a point to show his life, his day-to-day. It's only costume pieces, and in order for this to function with the month-to-month, similar to any kind of heightened moment that you want to be able to capture between panels, you have to do between issues, and those heightened moments happen when he's Spider-Man, not necessarily, right, a dinner or that kind of thing.
Oh, man. I want to say thank you to Matt Fisher with the 199 who said the book of the week was Rogue Savage Land. I guess you mean last week.
Hell yeah.
Hell no.
Green flag. Give it the green flag.
I'm wearing thin on this book. I really am. It's not that I didn't like it. Well, no, I didn't like it. I wasn't happy reading it. I think the story it's telling is fine. I think obviously the art is tremendous. I think the script is good, but the direction of this book is just frustrating. The pace is frustrating. I need more. Ultimates in 3 or 4 less issues has covered so much more ground. Way, way, way more ground. This just feels like it's not moving. So I'll green flag it, but my green flag is coming down half-mast here because, listen, Jimmy Carter died. We got a new president, and Ultimate Spider-Man is mid. So there you go.
Damn.
It's mid. I'm sorry.
This last issue and this issue have helped to bring momentum back for me. I had fun with this. I agree on all the same frustrations, but it has picked up steam for me where previously it had none. So this is a pull for me. I definitely want to see what happens. I am excited and engaged to see more. It just comes down to those moments of sometimes the narrative function. It doesn't always work for me.
Yeah, it's frustrating. We're gonna get into the comments now because we have arguments to make. We have to argue. Young Dende, Sean talking USM, a stormtrooper level miss. Nah, I completely disagree. I think if you look at OG Spider-Man comics, literally the original Spider-Man comics, they're exciting. They're dynamic. They've got good stuff going on all the time. Ultimate Spider-Man was a revelation when it came out. This has really nothing happening. If this serves you, then I don't know what that says about you. But, who was it that said this is for grown-ups? Styles of Series said this is for grown-ups. Quite frankly, dude, this feels like it's for babies.
Yo.
There's nothing here. There's nothing complicated about this. There's nothing dynamic about this. Everything is just plain Jane straightforward, no movement whatsoever. And if you're satisfied with that, then that's you.
And to this comment here, David Tranche says, I bet that next week is Feb 1 at midnight, right? I said that earlier, but that to me continues to evoke. Well, that's an issue with this narrative structure. Is you're beholden to that. You have to abide by it, and that prevents other things that could be happening. Like had no time been involved, we would have seen, oh my God, the cliffhanger from issue 12 where they're trapped, oh, how are they going to get out of this? We get to those things quicker, that there is no need for preamble to reset up the stakes because you've had to account for in real time what has happened.
Yeah. Yeah. Banksy Main says, I would have trusted your opinion here if you called Aquaman mid too. Why? That was a good comic. Why would I call a good comic a mid comic? Tilo says, you guys are crazy. No, I think you're crazy because I don't get it. I feel like I'm living in Bizarro world when I talk about this book. I don't understand what you guys are seeing, and that's okay, but you don't need to get on my ass in the comments. And if you want to, that's all right too, but know that I will return the favor. Jesse says, I agree with Sean. USM is not doing anything interesting. Mr. Funiverse says, talk to him, Sean. Yeah, that's what I come on here to do. I'm not putting up with this bullshit. JetX said, for the sake of the universe, they need to drop the monthly story structure after the Maker comes back. Ultimates is the only one that can deal with it adequately. Absolutely.
Agreed. Yep.
100%. Dennis Camp feels like the only person who understood the assignment when they came up with the wacky-ass concept to make each issue take place in 1 month. In 1 month. Comic book history says Wolverine Revenge was a Scott Snyder book, but when he left, Hickman had to work around. Where did you get that? Twitter? That sounds like BS.
I don't know. Somebody else was talking about Wolverine Revenge above.
King Mocap says, I think with how this wants to be a slow burn, with so little issues, this book would have benefited from being bi-weekly. Yeah, but if it was bi-weekly, then that would break the things only happen. Each issue represents 1 month. It would break that.
You'd have to do it. This issue represents 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, exactly. Cole says this book is not Amazing Spider-Man plus wife and kids. It was never going to be that, and expecting that is setting yourself up for disappointment. Actually, it is that. That is how it was marketed. Look at the first covers they showed us. They showed us family. Absolutely, It was marketed that way. Miss me with that argument. No way.
That was the whole premise. They were married. They were a family. They had kids, and that part of his life was being altered. So now he has to balance the life with the Spider-Man, but we're only seeing the Spider-Man.
Like, how could you say that when the only difference between these characters is that Uncle Ben, his uncle, is alive and he's married with kids, bro? That's the difference. That is the thing. That's the reason for this book. If it wasn't that, I guarantee you people would not be talking about this book the same way. That was the draw. Come on.
Neo Fredrickson says, imagine the other members of the Sinister Six just waiting around. And what the fuck will Fisk say? We'll find out in a month. And even then, he can't do anything, right? Because presumably plot armor for the heroes?
Everybody is waiting around to see what Kraven is going to do with these two. When obviously the Kingpin has a vested interest in seeing them dead. But he doesn't care. No worries. You can have them locked away for 2 months, and I'm good with that. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. They're like NPCs that only activate once you're around. They're just waiting.
It's ridiculous.
Mr. Funiverse says, so has the Ultimate line overall fallen off? Feel like we're at best 50-50 on good and bad, but I only follow Ultimate X-Men. No, I still think that this book currently, based on the last 2 issues of Trajectory, issues aside, is on the stronger end. I've not kept up or cared for Ultimate Black Panther. Ultimate X-Men has been good. Ultimates has been phenomenal, and Wolverine, we'll see. It's still strong.
Yeah. Monster Design says Harry as Green Goblin / his partner is pretty interesting. I think he's gonna die soon or start going crazy. Yeah, like there's a lot of cool things that you guys pitch and that we've pitched and thought about. None of that happens, and that's what's so frustrating. Not that like I'm not frustrated that none of our ideas happen. I'm frustrated that nothing happens. Uh, I don't know how long I'm supposed to wait for something to happen.
Like in this book, our main players waited a month for us to arrive to this moment. Like
Right.
like if you're thinking about that as a timeline, they waited for like wait, hold on. They'll get here soon. Like wait a second, we can't start the party until the audience has arrived, and that wait was mad long. Like realistically, there's danger in between time, but in between that time, that wait is lost. That the stakes are lost.
Banksy Main says Ultimates is basically introducing new characters, showing how the world is different than 616, and world building plot is somewhat lacking. Still love it though, but just saying if you want to compare, what book are you reading, dude? What book are you reading? Every single issue except the last one to me, and a lot of people loved that one, has done a tremendous amount of advancing the plot and the story of that book. What are you talking about? They've battled the Hulk already. They battled Captain Britain already. These are major players in the overall scheme that the maker has. They've been actively working to, get ready for when he arrives. It's a clear story. It's a clear path. Very, very clear and obvious path with momentum every issue. What was the momentum of this issue?
Uh, you turned the page. They fell through a hole.
Yeah, come on. Matt Fisher says, "Thank you for the 4.99, dude." Says after reading this, I learned the meaning of Boxing Day. I don't know what that means.
I
What
didn't
is
learn
Boxing
anything
Day?
about Boxing Day. Was there mention to that?
I don't know. 7 says, "Isn't the slice of life stuff things happening? Maybe not things you want to happen, but things nonetheless." I mean, like today, right? I got on the train. I went uptown, or I walked uptown. I had to take care of something. I went downtown. I went to get my books. I got home. I ate some food. You see how that's things happening, but shit that you don't want to hear about? Get it? That's the idea.
I think the issue there becomes and then, right? If all you can do is fill the space with and then, like in this instance, at the very least, when you had Richard interact with the suit, he's worried about his dad. Richard is swinging through the city, but he's sad about his dad. Cool, that worked. And then we transition over to Kraven and Mole Man talking, and then we see where our heroes are, and then they get dropped into this pit.
Right.
Jet X here. Ultimate Spider-Man is not bad. This is just the frustration of the way the story is being delivered. Is delivered being expressed. I like a lot of the story decisions. It all just becomes resolved in text bubbles. Tempered, yeah, I agree with that. Yeah,
I am totally with you.
yeah, I agree with that. This is not a terrible comic, but there are frustrations there, and that's all right.
Matt Fisher dropping another 4.99. Being serious, Sean, I think you need to see where the story goes. It's just getting started.
It's like a manga, dude.
When is it gonna get started, man? It's been 13 issues. That's 4.99 times 13. When is it gonna get started?
Damn.
You know? And 7, that's cool, man. He said, I don't know. Sometimes I think I like slice of life stuff. I'm glad for you, man. This isn't about you guys are shitting on me for my take, but I don't care if you like it. I'm only here to talk about what I like. You know what I'm saying? It's cool that you like it. But it's just not working for me. It's just not. It's been a long time. Yeah, absolute overthinker. With all due respect, it's been an entire year. Lucas Hallner said, "Hey, what's up, Lucas? I think this issue is better read when highlighting Kraven, but he didn't do anything, bro. That's my problem. He just stood around. Like we hear about how cool and badass he is, but we really didn't see him kidnap Peter and Harry. We only saw the aftermath, and then this issue only sees him talking around them. They eat some food. It doesn't get into like how much of a badass he is.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So,
Not yet. We have to wait a whole month.
right. All right, this is the last question I'm going to answer before we move forward. Unless it's a super chat. Banksy Main says, just curious, how long did it take New Avengers to have you fully invested? Which New Avengers? Because the answer is the same either way, actually. Issue 1. Issue 1. Why? Because in both cases, right, the inciting incident is immediate. You understand the threat. You understand what's at stake. You understand why these characters are banding together. The original New Avengers had a very, very good mystery hook that plays out over the first few arcs. The Sentry stuff is very compelling. There's a lot of heat there. There's no heat with this book. There's no, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening or what's going to happen with that. Nothing is being presented dynamically, and that is the problem that I'm having. But both New Avengers books circumvent the issue that I'm talking about.
I like how you started that answer with like a very very comic book nerd response. Well, which run? You know, you have the 2005 version from Brian Michael Bendis, but I really thought the 2013 with Jonathan Hickman was quite excellent. Like,
Well, we are here to be comic book nerds, right?
love
We're
it.
not here to try to be a badass. Let's end the poll. Let's see what you guys are saying.
Yo, they're gonna say mad pick of the weeks.
53
Oh.
not really. 53% say pull, which I agree with, by the way.
Yep.
And so does Marco. 16% said pick of the week. 16% said didn't buy or read, and 12% said pass. Okay,
Nice.
very
All right.
good. Very good.
Agree with those numbers.
Let's talk about a book that will probably be a lot less hotly contested, and that is Fantastic Four, number 28. It's written by Ryan North, with art by Stephen Cummings, inks by Wayne Foucher, colors by Jesus Albertov, letters by VC's Joe Caramagna. I neglected to mention, real quick, on the subject of Ultimate Spider-Man, that Gavin Guidry, our boy, had a variant for this.
Hey, hell yeah.
So congratulations to you. That's so fucking awesome that you got that, and more to come. More to come. We know that Gavin has a lot more in the pipe, so I'm excited for that.
A lot of stuff to go in the works.
Hell yeah. So Marco, you haven't read too much of Fantastic Four, right?
Mm-mm. Maybe 2 issues.
All right. So the general idea here is each issue is standalone, so you really can't pick this up anywhere. And it generally tends to pair off a couple of Fantastic Four family members because it does include the kids. The kids you know, like Valeria and what's the boy's name? How am I forgetting
Oh my God.
this? I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. But he's in it too. And
It's
also
not Richard, right?
no, I don't think so. Also the kids of Ben and his wife. So there's a lot of characters in this book, and they pair off every issue. This one pairs off the loving couple of Reed Richards and Sue Storm as they try to figure out a way that they can stop Doctor Doom. And so Susan has the bright idea to reach out to none other than the Black Knight, Dane Whitman.
That was cool to see.
Hell yeah. Because he is a man of faith and science, whereas Reed is only a man of science. But what we also know about the Black Knight is that he's a little nuts. So they go and meet up with him. They go on an adventure to try to find this fabled blade that is a magical blade that should help them cut through Doom's illusions and help against Doom's magic. But then it turns out it was all a ruse, and it was Doom all along. And he needed their help to find this object, this weapon, so that he could take it from them. And that's our lead into One World Under Doom, which is the impending Marvel event. Marco, what'd you make of this one?
I like this a lot. I know you guys have been hot on it in general, and I really liked how direct the storytelling was. Like, we get our plot, we get our problem statement right at the start. We find a way to do it. It gets twisted on us. Awesome. Yeah, I was locked in for the ride. And I'm trying to find when the last Black Knight series was, but I remember I tried to pick it up to keep up. Curse of the Ebony Blade back in like 2021, which was cool stuff. Like I wanted to get into this character, so it was nice to see him again. And I think the fact that he is crazy helps to veil the fact that Doom is in the play, because you can expect something potentially nefarious there. He will intercede in some form or fashion, but also Dane's a fucking weirdo. Like, so do you know? Can you know? No, but in that case, we're here to help out. We're here to walk alongside. The melting of the swords, everything is now under this siege. Was a really interesting twist, and he kind of used it like Metron's chair, which is neat. Kind of like exploring the world, looking through time, and that kind of thing. And I liked the physics, materialist, deterministic world that Reed lives in, and his brain just can't wrap around, what it is that magic is. It's not tangible. It's not. It is something that is like ephemeral, and so he has a problem grasping it. And I like that as a problem statement. I'm like, okay, cool, man. Like I was brought into this immediately, and I had a lot of fun along the ride. You're muted.
I'm sorry. I thought this issue was really strong. This book tends to be like number 1 or 2 in a given week that it comes out. It's so good, and we don't review it much on the podcast. That's really just because we missed out on the earlier parts of the run, and it just got away from us. But
I'm down, man.
Yeah, it's awesome. And what I love is that this particular issue, we're seeing the Fantastic Four, who are Doom's primary, antagonists, I suppose. We're seeing them actively try to figure out what to do about the fact that he has risen to power. That's one of the complaints that I had about Blood Hunt, was that the Fantastic Four weren't really there. So I'm happy that we're picking up on that thread, and that Reed is, this is a big deal. This is bad for Reed, because now Doom is the Sorcerer Supreme. So Reed's biggest weakness, if you could say he has one, is what he doesn't understand. And magic is something he doesn't understand. And now Doom is fully powered by magic.
And yeah, I like how he's been in there for months. What's he up to? Like he needs to know. He needs to figure this thing out. And so I also saw the obsessiveness kind of permeate a little bit. And actually, credit to Cummings here, because there's a moment, and I'm sure both Ryan and Steve collaborated on this, but the fact that Storm comes down, starts to pull him out of the cave, and it's only until she hits him with logic that his legs suddenly whip over. He's like, wait, I'm on board. Yes, let's go. There were a lot of very, I thought, dynamic moments with that use Mr. Fantastic's power set in a way that is emotional.
And by the way, that is how this book is. Ryan North is really, by all accounts, a really smart guy. And writing Reed has always felt like it would be so hard because he's such a brainiac. But Ryan is not just intelligent in the sciencey way. Either that or he's a whiz with Wikipedia and other things. But he also understands how to tell stories with a lot of heart to them, and captures those family moments. That's a small thing you're pointing out, but it does help you understand Reed is motivated by things that are logical. Mm-hmm. So if you weren't familiar with Reed, that sequence shows you that. It's consistent with the character.
Agreed, 100%. And that's exactly what I got out of that.
Right. How obvious was it to you that the Black Knight was definitely either actually Doom or under mind control?
So the moment we were in the chair, what did he say? He said something in particular. I can't find it right now. But I had an inkling, but I almost put it aside because I wanted to see how it played out. I figured something was a little funky here. Something just wasn't quite right. But I let him take me along for the ride. So did I know? Like I felt it before, and then once the reveal happened, I'm like, yeah. But it didn't fall flat.
Yeah, it was pretty apparent to me, but it didn't fall flat because that's okay. Like something being obvious doesn't make it bad to me. It just, what's the execution look like?
Right.
And I thought the execution here was pretty strong. The only question mark I had was where the fuck Reed got those devices from. Those like those things people take to the beach to try to find rare coins and objects and
Oh,
shit.
the metal detector.
Yeah, like that's basically what they had here, and I'm like, how do they make this during World War One?
I love that though, cause even Sue calls it out. It's like, "Ah, you're a genius in any kind of era, like my dude." And he's like, "But for the sake of the timeline, we have to break it all apart because they can't know this technology yet."
Yeah,
Really good.
that was great stuff. Yeah, man. The only downside for me, and it's really not that big of a deal, but it was something that I noticed from the first page was this issue isn't drawn by regular series artist Ivan Fiorelli,
Mm.
and he's got these characters down, and I really enjoyed his art style, and so seeing that switch up was a little bit of a bummer. I don't know when or if we will get him back, but yeah, I wasn't over the moon with the art style in this particular issue.
I thought, and not to be disparaging, I thought, oh, okay, this isn't the kind of art I expected on this kind of title, but I thought it communicated everything strongly, and actually, I wanted to call out, in particular, the colorist here, Jesus Abertov.
Yeah.
I thought there were a lot of really good sequences. There's this moment where they're coming to the throne room, and I, for whatever reason, this is the first thing I saw, but the light on their backs and like on their butts looks good and consistent. Like I can track where the light direction is coming from. There's a moment where they're using the metal detectors, to your point, and there's a light. There's like a little, dinging light bulb in front of Sue's face, and it lights up, in accordance really strongly with the right colors there. You go into the next scene, it's back to like a moonlit face. So I thought there was a lot of dynamics there with the art.
Yeah, and that is something this book does tend to have because between Fiorelli, Carlos Gomez also has done some issues. There are like there's always a lot of dynamic paneling and stuff like that. This did feel like a slight come down,
Hmm.
I thought, but overall, um, really, really a strong issue, and I definitely recommend it. Easy pull. Fantastic Four is one of Marvel's best books by far.
Yeah, agreed. Really easy pull.
Great. Now let's see what the listeners have to say about it. Oh, these are not good numbers.
Uh
Not good numbers.
oh. Oof.
So, didn't buy or read is 44%. Poll is 35, pass is 14, and 5% said pick of the week. That's probably just Lucas Holner, who did say this was his pick of the week. So, yeah, don't sleep on this book, guys. It's real good.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe we got to add to the list to get those buying numbers up. Let's affect change on comics.
Right. Like maybe we need to keep reviewing this damn thing more so more people can buy it.
Yeah.
Hecatron says, gonna be honest, I'm not liking Ryan North's Fantastic Four. The art just feels too cartoonish and it makes the stories feel trite. Hmm. I I disagree.
Yeah.
I get it, but I disagree.
Yeah.
Like, are the stories meaningful outside of the book? No. And they're not like reinventing the wheel with the Fantastic Four. But I to me it's been a while since we've had a really good FF run and I'm loving this and I did not think that I would. I really didn't.
Tilo says, after yelling at Sean for Ultimate Spider-Man, I will yell at chat for not reading FF.
There you go.
Yeah, yep. Lucas, pick of the week and proud. Hell yeah.
Style So Serious says the thing is too soft in this era. Remember the days he was the main attraction to fight the Hulk. Man, listen, the thing, he got a wife, he got some kids, but he can still throw down though. We do have a book coming some at some point this year. It's like thing
Yes.
fights. I don't remember the name of the book, but it's like him versus all kinds of villains. So you're
The
gonna get that.
the thing. Let's see, where is it? With Tony Fleeks.
Mm,
Damn, where is this again? At any rate, it is called. I think it's just called The Thing. Actually, yeah. March 5th.
there you go. Cole says zero interest in the Fantastic Four, respectfully. That's valid. I mean, not everybody's gonna be interested in everything. See how that works? I don't like USM right now. You guys yell at me. You don't like Fantastic Four and have no interest. I tell you, hey, it's all right.
It's because you don't have taste, Sean.
Eric Rodriguez, thanks for coming and hanging out with us, dude. Says pick of the week is Absolute Wonder Woman. Well,
Oh,
okay,
all right.
we will see. We're about to get to that in just a moment, but I do really briefly want to let you guys know that this Saturday we are going to be live at a special start time of 12:15 p.m. Eastern because we will be joined by none other than Kieran Gillen.
Holy shit!
Yes, we had to make a special consideration for him, and so he's gonna come on. We're gonna get to talk power fantasy. We're gonna get to talk, X-Men, all that, all that good stuff. Styles, you're hilarious, dude. We're gonna get to talk all that good stuff with Kieran. I'm really excited. Way more. I gotta be honest. Way more excited for this than I would have been if he was still in the Marvel stable.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, but he's out. He's not out, but he's doing more. He's doing more. He's doing things that I think I've always felt like his indie work is has been incredible. The Wick Div was phenomenal. Die has been a hit, and so all of those things. Yeah, very excited.
Yeah, yeah. Power Fantasy is a book that you guys should all be reading. Kieran Gillen is a beast, and I don't understand how he's keeping only one book on the docket. Like a guy like that, you would think he'd want to hit the ground running and just tear shit up like Jason Aaron is.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But
Hey, man, maybe he's good. Maybe he had his little Marvel run. He's like, I want to do something a little fun for me for a little bit. We'll see where he gets up to.
sure, yeah. All right, let's talk about Absolute Wonder Woman #4. We are in the DC side of things now. This is written by Kelly Thompson with art by Hayden Sherman, colors by Jordi Belair, letters by Becca Carey. So, in this issue, as with the rest of the issues, pretty much, Wonder Woman is facing down with the Tetracide. It's this giant monster that wants to have everybody listen to its song and then waltz themselves to death, being consumed by it. And Wonder Woman is doing everything she can to prevent that. She sacrificed her arm in the last issue, I think it was, or maybe the one before that, and she had to get it back. So she goes and gets it back. She meets up with Etta Candy via Steve Trevor, does some magic shit, gets her arm back. What a lucky coincidence that Etta and whoever that was with her have all these
Yeah.
like all these ingredients for magic and shit. What a lucky coincidence.
Yep. Where have you been? Where were you with this one? Because I feel like the momentum has not kept up for you in the same way. So I'm curious. I was curious to hear your thoughts on after this issue.
I'm gonna be a bummer. I guess that's just my role today. I didn't care much for this. I thought it was all right.
Mm.
I'm still into what Sherman is doing for sure. I think Sherman is kicking ass on the visuals. I love the dynamicism in the panel work. It's always these different shapes, these ovals, round, a lot of rounds, which I think is really cool. You don't see a lot of people play with the form of panels that way, and so I'm loving that factor. But I just feel like this book has been stuck in a silo. This whole Tetracide thing, like the Tetracide doesn't have personality. So you're not staring down a villain that we necessarily are going to care about in any way, right? And Kelly Thompson is trying to do a lot of like backstory stuff, an introduction to the supporting cast stuff, which is all well and good, but I just feel like it's taking a really long time. Compare it to Absolute Batman, which, introduced its whole supporting cast in like what, the first issue? First, second issue. We got everybody involved. We know who the players are. This is a little different because Wonder Woman needs help from her allies, but for me, that sequence where she's getting all the materials and to bring her arm back, it just felt like it went on for so long. Compared to when she beats the Tetracide, which takes almost no time at all, I wanted to connect more with like her in danger. There's never a moment where she's in danger. There's never a moment where she's at risk in any way, and I want to see that. She kills the Tetracide in a badass way. She makes her sword as big as it can possibly be, but it was so easy to do.
That's actually a good call out. The length of time for the setup for her arm compared to the actual action that we get. Um, this is my pick of the week. I had a lot of fun with this issue. I thought I liked the. I know we've already been kind of like parked waiting for the build up and stuff, but this build up with her using magic to me felt like, when when you're playing like an old school video game and you're really low on lives and like your health bar, and so you're like, damn, I gotta go farm some shit like really quick, get my stores back up, get everything back so I can come back with all my mana, whatever it is, all my health back up, extra lives just in case. That's what that felt like for me. I sort of felt in that moment in like a Dungeons and Dragons world. I know I'm going up against the big bad. Let me stock up, and I had fun with those moments. I liked that there was this interaction with Etta, who she's kind of in awe of this larger than life character we have in Wonder Woman. She's just helping out, building up. We see the bloody aftermath of the spell and the magic getting worked on. So that all felt like cool, fun setup, and the payoff of dude seeing that sword just inflate, man.
Hell yeah.
That was badass. I'm like, oh, when she's like, I needed a bigger sword, and then you get to the, let me see what page this is. You get to the moment where it's just it's just stupid. Like I thought that was so cool, kind of silly, but for the seriousness that it contrasts in this world, I thought, oh, okay, if this was happening, these are kaiju fighting, right? Like this is another mech that has a big ass sword. So these things worked out for me, and yeah. Pick of the week. I hear what you're saying. We've been in this holding pattern. We've seen all these things happen, and I think at the end where it's like, oh, the government, I thought that was a little bit of a week of a cliffhanger.
Yeah, like I want to see her get into some epic shit.
Yeah.
Like I want to see her. It's not even about like God of War, blood and killing. I'm not even looking for that necessarily. I'm just looking for like a big idea, a big idea, a big enemy for her to, a big antagonist. I feel like Wonder Woman is the character that DC can do that with, and I want to see it alongside all the human stuff too. Like I'm not saying I don't want the human stuff. I definitely do, but like government shit, I could do without that. I mean, come on. We're literally getting that in mainline right now.
What are they gonna do? Like realistically, what are they gonna? She just that page where she cuts him in half and you see like the guts.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. TMI, dude. I was on the toilet reading that and I was like, fuck, that's crazy.
Wait. What is the relevance of the fact that you were taking a shit in that moment?
Because
tell us.
I had to stop. I was like, oh, I'm there, and I had to like.
Did it make your shit drop like faster? Like, oh, was it one of those?
It stopped for a second.
Because what happens to me every now and then, like if we're going down this road,
right?
Like if I cough,
yeah,
or if like something if I see something exciting, yeah, it'd be like whoa, and then it's just boom, Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Shit pops out.
it's just out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, there are so many of those interactions. The art, man, Hayden is crushing it. I jaw dropped when I saw that page, man. That's right.
oh
That's
yeah.
right. I had my guts coming out too. Um, and what I particularly liked about that page, it's a 2-page spread, and the panels are shaped as if they're similar blades, where uh the squareness of the sword is reflected in the panel. The angle at which presumably the blade has to go is in that arc, and then there's a little circle. That's the pivot point. If we were looking at this like from like if she's the hinge,
right.
right, then that sword closes down the same way the panels presumably would close down on that hinge moment. Phenomenal, dude. Their brain is working crazy.
It's a take note situation for all artists. Like, look at what Sherman is doing. How can you get a little bit more dynamic? How can you do things that are a little bit more visually interesting? I love the way their brain works. Between this and Dark Patterns, it's like, wow, Hayden can do no wrong
Yeah,
from a visual standpoint.
yeah.
I also like I think we've mentioned it before, but no, guys, no, it's over.
That
Just a
was it.
little,
Yeah, got it
yeah.
out.
Um, I love how Wonder Woman looks. What's the right word? Like Greek? Does she look Greek to you? She's
She
got
is.
like,
Yeah, mad Greek,
yeah.
bro.
I love how like you can distinctly tell that in Hayden's art because I feel like mainline Wonder Woman doesn't really look like that. So I just think that's a really cool touch.
Oh, I did want to shout out that like voice bomb. That it's emanating from like a singular point. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, very clever, really cool, because you can't hear in comics, right? So like the you're using this to visually represent all that. Real smart.
That was nuts. That was nuts. I did love that. I think this book is really good, but it's really slow. And I would love a little bit more propulsion. Wonder Woman hasn't really left like a general area that she's been in this whole time. And so that's a little frustrating. I just want to see this move more, and I'm hoping that now that the Tetracide is done and dusted, we can get, you know, to the next thing, and then hopefully the next thing is a bigger thing. Not necessarily literally bigger, but I definitely say pull. Full mast pull.
Yeah, this was my pick of the week. Um, you think that woman there turned around to the president? You think that's absolute sovereign?
No, I think that's absolute Cale. As in Cale Ward, the guy that we used to podcast with. I believe that this is his doppelganger in the absolute universe.
Yeah, existing. They're doing hard
Yes.
work.
By the way, that was just a joke. We still podcast with Cale. And hopefully we can make that joke when he's here with us because now I have proof that Cale is a Karen. How about that? Proof. All right, let's see what you guys are saying about this. 46% of you say pull. Didn't buy/read is 24%. That's a little high. Pick of the week, 21%, and 7% of you say pass.
Yeah. Uh, for the people who didn't buy or read, have you dropped this title? Curious about that.
Yeah, why? What's up with that? We got a request from Hippolyta. I always say your name wrong. I'm so sorry. Can you share the cool sword panel on screen? Yes, I
Oh
can.
yeah.
I will do that for you. So this is sick. So she's got a big ass sword, right? Like we all know that. We know her sword is massive. But she's up against a big ass beast. So she has to get bigger. And not she, the sword. She literally makes the sword as big as she can and slashes right through the tetracide. Like it's just so sick. And like
Pull it out a little,
look
Sean.
at this.
Yeah. Page is sick, dude.
Crazy, crazy. Hopefully I did it justice. It looks incredible, nevertheless. Hayden Sherman, just an absolute beast.
Yeah, Mararekascuro. That's the same vibe I get. Berserk. Absolutely.
Uh, we got a super chat from our boy Matt Fisher holding us down today. Thank you so much, Matt. Did anybody else notice that when she cut it in half, the sword with blood on it turned red, white, and blue?
Oh, did it? Oh yeah.
I wonder what that means. Like,
That's so
what's the
cool. Well, I'm sure it's some kind of like thematic. Like red, white, and blue. She has her stars, her stars and stripes and all that.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a
I
good
think
call out.
I think everybody should buy this book.
Agreed.
Nier says, "Nah, never mind. I gotta go get this." Yeah, dude, jump on board. 4 issues deep. Like, what do you have to lose? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you have to lose when a book is this early on? And you can say that about all the absolute books. You could sort of make that argument about the ultimate books. When a book is this early into its life cycle, you really just jump on, you know. And if it doesn't work for you, cut it. That's my philosophy. Cut it. Fuck it. Who cares?
And for my berserk people, that we can to quote something, that thing was too big to be called a sword, too big, too thick, too heavy, and too rough. It's like a hunk of iron.
What are you talking about?
Berserk.
Oh, oh, okay, all right. Whoa, I wasn't sure what world you were living in right there.
Guts.
I was having all kinds of different thoughts.
It's Guts' sword.
Ah, okay. See, when I see a big ass sword, I go to Cloud.
Nah, you could be. Nah, I get that, but you play video games. I read manga.
He's the OG big ass sword guy. You know, like
No.
who's the OG big ass sword guy?
Gee, big ass sword. I was about to say Gundam, but they got laser swords.
Yeah, fuck that. Nah, I love Gundam.
Good shit. Oh, we had a great conversation about Gundam, Gavin, in the Discord. By the way, I have to put those movies on my list.
Gavin said, "Prove it." What do I have to prove? You tell me, and I will prove it. I'll prove it live.
Entertain me with the $2. Thank you so much. And agreed with this. What Absolute Wonder Woman needs is no more Steve Trevor. Anti Steve Trevor.
Yes, I am with you. I am with you on that. Lucas Hallner says, Sean, you seen the books I sent in the Discord yesterday. Where to? Where to? The Pals Pulls page? Because let me see if I can pull it up now. Oh yeah, dude. Hell yeah. I love the Void Rivals cover. I love that. What else do I love? I love your Absolute Wonder Woman variant. And oh no, that's fucking that's badass Jones I'm calling out here. But you got the same good shit. I love the Wonder Woman. Oh, that Power Girl is nice. Your Absolute Wonder Woman variant is fire. You did good. You did good. I love when you guys show off your pulls in the Pals Pulls section of the server. It's a beautiful thing.
Final Fantasy. When did Cloud come into existence?
Okay. Gavin said I got to prove that I podcast with Cale. Hey, that ain't up to me. That is not up to me.
My dude's crunching apparently.
Huh?
My dude's crunching. He's crunching work.
Oh, yes. Wish him well with that. Let's dive into Justice League Unlimited. Justice League Unlimited, written by Mark Waid, of course, with art by Dan Mora, of course. Letters by Ariana Mayer, colors by Tamra Bonvillain. Best name in comics.
Ah, she's so good.
Oh yeah. So this issue is now I got to be really honest with you right now. After you get past this page, which is the introductory page that tells you the creative team, it's got the big splashy Justice League Unlimited on it, created to make you think about the animated series. After I got past that, and I saw that they were going to be dealing with a fucking fire, I am not kidding. I had flashbacks to Titans. I said fuck out loud, and I was prepared. I was in dread.
I
Okay,
was so ready for this moment.
I was horrified. Like, are you fucking kidding me? They are gonna put out fires. We just went through this. The Titans were putting out forest fires in Borneo for an arc, and now the Justice League are gonna do that. And okay, all right, the Justice League are gonna put out fire. Fine. Now, Marco, pop quiz.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
If you needed to put out a fire,
Yeah.
right? Like, and obviously, I am not trying. Like, I know there's really serious stuff going on in Cali right now with the fires. It's not to make light of any of that.
Piece of shit.
Anybody who's dealing with that right now, I hope you're safe and sound. I hope your belongings are safe. But real time, pop quiz. If you had to put out a fire, what superhero from DC would you call?
Yo, my boy Swamp Thing, bro. He comes in, he waters the plants. That's it. Get Firestorm
so
there.
Firestorm, okay. Anybody else? Anybody else at all that you could think of?
The Teen Titans.
Okay, so you and Mark Wade have the same problem. There's a fire engulfing the whole of the Amazon, and neither one of you thought that it would be relevant to bring Aquaman.
Oh, he does have the water kinetic powers again. All right, that's right. See,
What the fuck?
But then I just assume, oh damn, we're on land. What's he gonna do? You know?
Then he's useless as a character altogether.
He just throws a good punch.
You don't bring Firestorm. You don't bring Aquaman. Once I got to that, I was like, ah, fuck, here we go now.
Yeah. Fucking Airwave is around. What?
Yeah, we need Airwave. But no, I'm just busting chops. This was a solid issue, mostly for the art. I think the story, again, I don't really care for the whole like putting out fires thing, but I like that it ties into this larger conspiracy. There's this group of maybe they're aliens, maybe they're not, who are doing all these things and putting the Justice League to the test. But it just doesn't feel like enough advancement from the last issue where they were sent out to deal with the
the war or whatever it was. It was like a battle.
no, what was it? I forget what it was, but it just doesn't feel like this is moving too quickly.
Oh my God, fucking the parademons.
Yeah. We had 2 issues of the parademons, I think, and then now we're dealing with fires. It's just like, please, Mark Wade.
Atomic House said Aquaman would dry out. Valid.
Is that lore?
Probably. There have been iterations where he has to like go back and touch water. Yeah, I love the work that Dan Moore is doing here. The storytelling, I similarly with the fires, I'm like, okay, is this a threat? I guess the magnitude, the scope, that makes sense. But then the fact that we get, this Inferno thing again, a little very much on the nose, they've lit this on fire. And there's a call out by, who is it? I think it's by Dr. Colt or Zatanna of just being like, wait, where's the real problem? Where's the real issue? I was hoping they would get to that point a little quicker. Because then my boy Swamp Thing shows up and then, he's part of this conspiracy. He's getting burnt, but it's like, I like the setup. I like what they're doing with these kind of things. I almost wish though we weren't getting distracted with the hecticness of having to do superheroics almost. Like I want more of the plot to play out versus the plot happening in between conversations and in between actions. I think we can slow down a little bit. Like I appreciate the heroics. I appreciate the action, but I do maybe want some talking head moments so we can progress a little further. Because while we are 3 issues in, they're still kind of giving us the villain. I do want more of the narrative being told from a like how do we solve it perspective versus we're in the middle of a conflict or we're in the middle of doing something.
Well, you make a good point because the talking head sections tend to not be about the central conflict. The book opens with a talkie segment where the question meets up with this bum ass airwave guy, and he's like, he has nowhere to live or whatever. So she's like, hey, just hang out with us. You know, you're a cool cat. And then the other major talkie section it feels like a setup for the Atom Project. And that makes
Mm,
sense because this issue's subtitle is Dawn of the Atom Project.
yeah.
That felt so shoehorned in, dude. Like that book, The Atom Project is already an
Out.
issue deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this felt like a backdoor pilot for a book that already exists, and it's like we've chosen to read that if we want to. That felt like that would not have sold me on buying that book.
Agreed. Hard agree. The yo, I want a Dan Mora Swamp Thing so bad now. He crushed it. Like
Mhm.
ate the horror, the kind of style, the fact that it's Levi, interesting again. Um Real cool stuff.
Yeah, I was happy that he's back.
Maybe?
I don't know, but I was happy to see him at any event. But dude, they set your boy on fire.
Hey man, he comes back from the ashes. I'm interested to see how like the green interacts and all this kind of thing. Does that mean they've killed off Levi? We get some other parliament members because also the Parliament of Trees is in Brazil. So um,
Oh.
does is that why that's why they're attacking the green? That's why it's because it's based there, it's centralized there. So what does that mean for the other avatars that have existed? And Levi most of the time Swamp Thing kind of like tries to keep away, keep a distance before getting pulled in.
Yeah, I'm excited that they're pulling in stuff like that, pulling in the green, pulling in Swamp Thing. Like it makes it feel like a slightly bigger deal to me.
Mm,
But I do need this book to, because like I think it's important to understand this. Action and progression are not the same thing. You could read 5 issues in a row of the Justice League putting out forest fires, fighting parademons, fighting parallax, cleaning up their houses, whatever, right? They could be doing things, but that doesn't mean that the story and the plot are progressing. And so here it felt like we inched forward. It felt almost like it didn't feel like a meaningful leap from issue 2. Even though a lot of stuff is happening, we don't know any more than we knew.
right.
We haven't like moved any further than we had in the last issue, and that bothers me.
And to the earlier comment you said about like this being potentially an ad, like for the question part, right? Like, does that mean now we have to see how that's resolving in that book? Because are they going to address it here? Because Airwave is a hero here, but are the mystery bits involved happening there?
That's a good question, and I'm not reading the question, so I don't have an answer.
Yeah.
And again, like between that and the sequence with the Atom Project stuff, like this just felt like we could have desperately used those pages
Yes.
to focus on bigger stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. I'm all for the team showing up and doing cool stuff, but I do want a little more forward progression from this.
Yeah. That being said, man, Dan Mora's art is just for no pun intended, it's fire.
Yeah.
Like he is tremendous. I love like these like obelisk type things.
Yeah.
These things here, I thought those looked sick as hell. Just being on fire, that was pretty cool. His Plastic Man looked really awesome. You already talked about Swamp Thing, so I won't go into that. But like, looks amazing. Uh, just everything here is so good. Like Dan Mora is one of the best artists, certainly working right now. And when he hangs it up, man, he's gonna be in that conversation.
Yo, is he in the Kirby Hall of Fame yet?
What do you mean?
Uh, when people get inducted to the Hall of Fame, my dude needs to be there.
Oh, I doubt it. I doubt it. I mean, dude, he's a young man, right? Like, isn't Dan Mora like mid-30s? He's probably gonna do this for another couple of decades before he hangs it up. And when we hang his jersey up, flowers,
Yeah.
okay? Flowers while he's still around because a lot of people don't get them while they're around. Flowers. That's how we're gonna do this era of creators because I feel like we left a lot of prior eras of creators penniless and uncelebrated. So when these people hang it up, flowers.
He's 38, and I mean, I feel like he has. I feel like him, Jorge Jimenez. They're these are the people that are like, if there was a DC house style, you know what I mean? Like if there's a look to a DC book, this is kind of like the basis of that. The same way like Pepe Larraz has done for the new era of X-Men. Like there's a standard. This is the standard, and it's fucking up here, man.
Dude, dude, yeah. Like who? Like there are artists who are doing like. I think DC's stable of artists right now is crazy. But man, who's doing it like Dan?
Who's doing it like Dan? Hell
It's
yeah.
crazy. It's
Yeah.
good stuff. I thought this was strong. It's still I'm still looking for a little bit more momentum, but the art is stellar. I like Mark Waid's voice for these characters. I like the interactions. I'm really interested in what's going on with Red Tornado and the whole like AI controlling the Justice League angle.
Yeah.
That's really compelling. Slower burn on that. I don't need that to progress. Like let's just see that play out over time. I want more focus on the central antagonist though.
Agreed. Yeah. And pull for sure.
Yeah.
Damn. I thought.
What?
I don't know what your pick of the week is yet. I thought it might have been this one. It was between Absolute Wonder Woman or this one. I thought that one might have turned around for you, but interesting. I missed on that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Come on. You think you know me?
Might be getting into it.
You think you know me? Let's see what the audience had to say. 63% of you are pulling this. 20% said didn't buy or read. 7% said pick of the week, and 7% said pass. So,
Wow. Those
all right.
7%. Open your eyes.
Yeah, how are you passing on this? Passing. Let's hit a couple of comments and super chats. Lucas Holner re-upped the Comics Pals VI Pal channel membership. Thank you so much for that, Lucas. Really appreciate you for doing that. We love to give away memberships, but it's awesome when you guys do join up and we get to see it in the live stream. He says, "Not those books, Sean. I meant the Venom and Deadpool first appearance my coworker brought in, but I appreciate the shout out. I did see those two, dude. Sick as hell. Sick as hell. I don't have any key comics. Like I don't even like I don't even know if I have any key comics. I'm so
Really?
tapped out of that like I've never gone back and like looked at my books and been like, "Oh, that's a key, that's a key." I doubt it, dude. I started collecting 20 years ago. There are no more keys really.
Yeah, but you didn't. Oh, I guess you've never gone back because you've never been like a crate digger. You never gone back to like going through back issues and stuff.
Nah, like I haven't done any of that at all. What I could see myself doing is buying covers that I really love from the past. Like when they put out a facsimile for Secret Wars, I bought the issue of Secret Wars that has Doom on the cover, the Defiant Doom cover. I bought that. I'll buy certain shit like that, but I'm not gonna chase and hunt after key books that have a high resale value or anything like that.
I have to look through my my whatchamacallit, my bookshelf because I definitely have like I think the trial of the OG Magneto on trial. I have that cover that issue where he's like
Oh,
locked. One of my favorite stories is between Storm and Forge, like those two issues. I'm forgetting the arc, but I have those because I was in it with X-Men for a while. What else do I have? Key issues. Ah, damn, and like a couple Wolverine stuff. I was big into the X-Men pieces, so anything that I would have is related specifically to that.
now what I have that I don't think this is a key. I highly doubt it. I don't think this sells for anything, but I have like 4 copies of the Spider-Man meets Obama issue with Obama on the cover. I don't know. I don't know why, but Yeah.
The only other things that I buy are blank covers. I think yeah, I like seeing, so like I have terrible, but Strange Adventures blank, because I bought two of these because I want Mitch to draw a cover for this one, and then I want
Shaner. Doc
Shaner.
Shaner.
Yeah, I want those two to be like back to back also. Like I'll put them in the same one, so I can flip it.
That's
Uh
very achievable.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like we've shaken the guy's hand now, so I better. Oh, here it is.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's sick.
Yeah.
Is and that's got a high price tag?
I don't know if it's necessarily has the high price tag, but this is just like a famous cover, a famous issue of something. Actually, I think I have some of them here. Oh, I thought
Yeah,
they were
generally when people are talking about key issues, they're talking about like, oh, that's sick.
Life Death.
Yeah,
My favorite arc, dude. I adore this book.
that's awesome. Matt Fisher dropped $5 on us. So when John returns, will he shapeshift into a dragon so we can get the cartoon homage? FYI, you could say this issue was fire. Oh,
So
that's a good one too.
Wolverine orange, the that brown, my favorite costume. Sorry, I'm just showing off now. um,
Uh, Matt Fisher dropped another 5 spot. Hey, if Dr. Occult is JLA now, can we get a Captain Compass issue? Who the fuck is Captain Compass?
yo, that's bugged out. Capitan Campos.
I have no idea who that is.
Damn, Gavin. Gavin says Evan might be tough. He doesn't hit the con circuit as hard as Mitch. Yeah, I know. That's been one of the big things. Mitch is always at New York Comic Con. I think one year Shaner was at, but I think that was the year that I wanted to buy this. Fuck,
Yep.
I missed
I
out.
remember meeting him. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Gavin Guidry says, I love Dan and George Jimenez, but hot damn, am I bucking that style trend? I don't know if we could be much different for still being straight up cape artists. That's true, and I think that's the beauty of comic book art, is that you can have them, and you can have a Gavin Guidry, and you can have a Hayden Sherman, you can have a Peach Momoko, people whose styles are so radically different, and they can all be brilliant and beautiful and like accepted,
Yeah.
as what modern comic book art looks like. Whereas I definitely think, well, I'm not well versed enough to speak definitively on the 90s, but I do feel like there was more of a like, if you don't draw comics this way, you're not drawing comics
Yeah,
type thing.
you get the what was it Max, all those kind of stuff. The Spawn, yeah, exactly. McFarlane,
Yeah.
and I feel like Gavin also comes from a really strong like. Correct me if I'm wrong, Gavin, but like that Toth style, and I think that's prevalent in comics. And it's all about finding the mark there, and I think you've been doing a great job on that.
Hell yeah, dude. Absolutely. Hecatron with the 199, his first super chat on a stream. Thank you so much, Hecatron. Appreciate you for making us your first super chat. Your Pals vs. Origin is next up, I believe, on the docket. And I gotta tell you, I never share shit like this. I am so fucking excited to write your origin, dude. So hyped. I can't wait. I've been thinking about it for weeks. And I'm just like, oh, I got to get to Hecatron. I can't wait. It's going to be so good. So, yeah, hopefully we can get that out to you soon.
Oh, he forgot the message. He said he wanted to shout out the new issue of World Tree. Not enough people reading that one. It's wild.
Nah, World Tree, bro. Oh, my good. I love that series.
Man.
To me, World Tree is the best James Tynion book.
Really?
Yep. It's everything that you liked about Nice House, but I just think he has a better handle on it all. Like it's got the cast, it's got the characters, it's got the horror, it's got all that, but it's like done to perfection.
I feel like I fell off after maybe issue 6, because we only read a couple issues for the show, but I kept up a little bit because we get the thank you to Image, we get the like the comps beforehand. So yeah, I was reading it through there. Damn, I might have to come back to it. We have all the issues.
Hell yeah. Yeah. You should definitely do that. It's a fantastic series. Comic Tropes says hit the like button, folks, and I agree with that. Thank you, Comic Tropes, for throwing that out there. I throw out there that you guys should check out Comic Tropes channel. Let's dive in to the next book. By the way, I love sitting here chatting with you guys. Notice it's only two of us, and we've been here for an hour and a half, and we've still got two books to go.
Talkative boys.
It's dude, this is the most fun of part of my week every week. I love this shit. But let's talk Superman. This is written by Joshua Williamson with art by Dan Moore, Double Dan Thursday. Colors by Alejandro Sanchez, letters by Ariana Mayer. This is the book that won the poll this week. You guys voted for it on youtube.com/the Comics Pals under the community tab. You voted. This was basically a landslide. It really wasn't close. You fucking love Superman. You guys are way into Superman. And so I tried to put up a poll this week that didn't have any DC at all. So that we can have some diversity on this podcast. And guess what? Guess fucking what? My least favorite book, Ultimate X-Men, is winning the poll.
Aha.
I put it on there because I'm like, we can check in, It's winning the poll.
Hell yeah.
Hellhunters #2 is on there. West Coast Avengers #3 is on there. That book's been great. Hornsby and Halo #3 is on there. But you guys want us to read Ultimate X-Men, apparently. Go vote and maybe change that. Or double down on it. Whatever you want to do.
Double down.
Whatever's clever.
I want to talk about it. Double down. I want to talk about it. Double down.
So when it comes to Superman, which is what you guys voted for this week, we are basically in a situation where Superman has been confronted by this group of people who claim that Doomsday destroyed their world. Their worlds, excuse me. And that they want to claim Doomsday for themselves. They want to subject him to their judgment, potentially their punishment. And if Superman doesn't turn Doomsday over, in the last issue, they threatened the lives of everybody on Earth. The issue opens with what felt like a bait and switch, in that the guy's like, you know what? I was probably a little too hot-headed. I'm not actually going to destroy anything. My bad. Let's talk this out. And so they have a talk. But when it doesn't go his way, it's revealed that he actually is about that life. And they are ready to destroy the Earth. And we get some action.
Yeah, man. It's this Court of Owls looking motherfucker. Yo, then he turns into friggin' Dr. Manhattan.
That was sick.
Yo, this is ball of energy. Yeah, it was the reveal, obviously, right? He looks menacing. He looks like a villain, and so like the fact that he does turn, awesome, a lot of fun. And then from there, yeah, this book I think just pushed down the pedal. And I like Williamson because I think he's able to handle the pacing really well. There have been some instances where I've felt like he doesn't balance story and action, but as I've gotten to know him more as a writer, as we've been reading this series, I'm realizing how he paces and how he's able to do these things. So this was one of those instances where, hey, we're stopping the talk. We're here about throwing punches, and the team up, cool as shit. There's just a lot of heightened moments, and he doesn't ever forget to keep things light. There's the moment where whatchamacallit, we get Lex gets called Lexi, and then they get a little shy, and it's cute. That's like a little funny moment. You get Jimmy.
That was fucking hilarious, bro.
Yeah. And Jimmy's like, wait, I gotta take a picture of Superwoman. Like you get these interactions, and
his girl is helping him get the picture.
Word, yeah. So like, and we had that issue where it was all about the relationships, and so you're seeing them play out. You're seeing these things grow. I forgot who it was, but somebody in the Discord was like, "Damn, yo, what's going on with Lex Luthor?" And I'm like, my boy's falling in love. I don't know, man. I like the arcs. I like the story. I like who the players are. So this was a strong contender for pick of the week.
Well, that's why I agree with this super chat we got from Matt Fisher for $2. Thank you so much, Matt. Old Lex returning is going to be really sad. Yeah, but and Williamson is doing the exact right thing. He's setting us up for the fall. Now Lexi and Mercy they're smushy. You know, like Lex has the beard now. We know that
Where,
shit is gone. He
yo,
got a sick beard. That's the first thing he's gonna do is shave off that beard. You know, and it's like, damn, they could have a real ally in Lex, but he's not as valuable to them when he doesn't have the other side. And that sucks. But that's who he really is.
and they to that point they play into that, right? Because there's the moment when he flashes back to Brainiac, and he's like, I know what to do, right? But that's only because he has access to that knowledge. But if he were to be villainous, then you can only get so far with that, right? And so the fact that, and I think it's a kudos to Williamson, the fact that he will at some, we know that he will at some point have to turn back because this is comics, they're cyclical, and that is the nature of the storytelling craft. But he makes me care along the way. Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I thought this was fucking awesome. The chat is talking about the origins and the lore behind the villain that we get introduced to here, and apparently this is a real Superman story from 30 years ago, where Doomsday apparently destroyed this world, and now these people are back from revenge. So, Williamson doing some archaeology here to bring that stuff back, and I love it because it's like if you know that, cool, it'll matter more to you, and it plays better. If you don't, it's like, do I believe that Doomsday has destroyed planets in the past? Yup. Do I believe that those people might want revenge? Yup. Cool. That's all I need to know. That's how you handle it in comics. We don't need, an issue to go into the history of this shit. It's like, nah, go buy that if you want to. But let's stick with the focus here.
Yeah.
Williamson honestly has proven something to me with this Superman run. Like he is I I was kind of in that place where I was like, man, after PKJ, I don't know
Yep.
if I really.
Yep.
But nah, Williamson's been crushing it, dude.
Same. Same. And this entire arc has been turning me around to him. Like we've had time with him already, but it didn't feel as impactful. Now we're seeing the impact. Now we're seeing the drive. And so yeah, hard agree. And it does not hurt to see Lois Lane in costume.
No, especially not when she is drawn by Dan motherfucking Morrow.
Ooh, damn.
How? How is he doing
He
this?
doesn't sleep.
He doesn't sleep. I mean, there's rumors that he has a team that works with him. I don't know what all that means, and far be it from me to try to dissect something like that. All credit to Dan Morrow until I hear otherwise, with some facts behind it. This dude is a monster.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely knocks it out of the park. And this book, in contrast to Justice League, I didn't mention the colors. Tamara Bonvillain, I think she does a really good job. That book feels almost too vibrant. Here, we're a lot not muted, but I feel like the colors are more in control.
I feel. Yep.
The there's more use of black here. We're not using these bright, vibrant purples and neon orange and all this thing. It's at most we get into like this purple fuchsia, but everything else is your standard red, blue, dark. Like we get variation, but it's not over the top. It's not oversaturated.
Yeah, dude. I actually completely agree with you. I like it more when Mora is colored by Sanchez. I just feel like their styles blend together better, and Sanchez understands how to bring out the best in what Mora does. This
That's
double page spread is fucking crazy.
yeah, dude, so good.
Doomsday and Superman teaming up for the briefest of moments to kick ass. I love that.
And
Um,
the page turn on that was funny too. Is that page turn a Superman Doomsday team up? That's the shit you put on like a promo, like
right.
really good.
Like that could have been the cover.
Yeah, 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 yeah. A
That,
wraparound
that
cover.
yeah, that kind of moment for sure. And then, we get to the end and it's like, okay, now Superwoman. Lois Lane confronts the time trapper, who we know is Doomsday from the far-flung future. So I really love all these different machinations. This is going way differently than I thought it would in the best way possible. I am so in on this run. Um, yeah, this is a great comic.
Pick of the week.
we'll talk about the next book and then we'll see.
All right, we
We'll
got
see.
well, if we haven't read this one, we got J Sage. Thank you so much for stopping by. It says sorry you can't stay. TMNT X Naruto was really good this week. Radiant returning. Josh's soup run is such a blockbuster. 90s coded but very modern. Hell yeah. A lot of
Yeah,
praise. A lot of praise in the chat too.
absolutely.
And then with the 9.99 Atomic Hound, Superman was pick of my week so far. Before we jump off DC, special shout out to Harley and The Flash, which both smashed expectations. Both were really good. Great discussion as always. Yeah, I want to catch up on The Flash.
Thank you, Hound, and thank you, Jay. Now, Hound, and chat in general, what is the consensus on Flash right now? Like, is Flash a book that we need to be reading?
Yes,
Because okay, but you're behind, so you don't know.
fair. I just like it. I like up to where am I? I like issue like 11, 12. No,
And what just dropped?
what just dropped? I don't remember.
Yo, fake ass fan, bro.
I'm not up to there yet.
It's on your pull list.
Hold on.
We got the poll up. It's a little late. I'm sorry, but you guys go make sure you vote in the poll that is live right now. I don't know. When I was reading Flash, I thought it was Cheeks. So hopefully it's improved. I couldn't get into it, man. I know they switched artists and
Yeah.
but I don't know. So let's see. Yeah, there was a question here that I wanted to make sure we got to. Yeah, Absolute Overthinker says I think I saw it confirmed the other day that Dan Slott is indeed taking over on Superman this year, late spring or summer, I think. So no, in the sense that yeah, Dan Slott is coming to DC and he is going to be writing Superman, but not this book. As far as I'm aware, Joshua Williamson is sticking around on Superman Core, and we're getting a book called Superman Unleashed or Unlimited. Is it Unlimited? I think it's
I think
Unlimited.
it's unlimited.
And Dan Slott and Raphael Albuquerque are going to be working on that series. There is detail out about that. We talked about that on the show this past Saturday. Needless to say, we'll definitely be reading it. It's Dan Slott at DC. I mean, we gotta sample that. Absolutely.
Latest Flash issue is gonna be 17.
Oh, okay. All right. Um, Atomic Hound says the Flash is distinctly different from the first 12 issues. Okay. It's different how? Like more what? More fun? Because that book for me, the book was dry. That was the problem.
It got a little wacky and heady for like concepts like the slow and stuff.
Yeah.
Uh,
Absolute
abs-
Overthinker dropping the 10 spot on us. First super chat of the year. Been hella busy so far in 2025. Been watching replays. So glad to be here with the gang. Much love to you, Sean and Marco. Thanks for holding it down and keeping it real. Bro, what else is there to do?
Always,
Right?
baby.
You got it. You got it. What, 7 years? It's 2025. Coming on 8 years
Yeah, holy
strong doing
shit.
this. Most of you have experienced a fraction of that with us. But needless to say, we are so, so happy you're here. We're not talking to each other alone anymore. Love that.
Talking into the void, dude.
Hell yeah,
Those were the
dude.
days. Those are the first 6 years.
Yeah, and those were not the days.
Yeah.
Those were not the days. Those were the bad old days. Let's talk about. Oh no! Before we talk about this, let's close the poll and see what you guys had to say. Um, the poll results are 54% polled it, 25% didn't buy or read. Pick of the week is 20%, and nobody passed. That's
Wow.
pretty good.
That's
It's
real
pretty good.
good.
Smaller sample size because the poll went up a little late on my bad on that, but good to know nonetheless.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's get into Hyde Street. This is the one and only Image book, non-Big Two book that we're able to get to this week. This is written by Jeff Johns, uh, with Ivan Reese on art, Danny Mickey on inks, letters by the indomitable Rob Lee, And this issue definitely, first of all, was delayed. Like, this is a Christmas issue in January.
I felt that.
So, yeah, yeah, they were late to the party on that. But basically, what we're seeing is a guy, a thief, who dresses up like Santa Claus and goes to homes and steals. And he, not only that, but a kid catches him and thinks it's the real Santa. And he tells the kid, hey, you douche, Santa Claus isn't real. The kid cries hysterically. Pranky slash Pip wants this guy dead. He wants him to pay the price for fucking with kids and, robbing the magic of Christmas from children and families. And so he enlists the help of Mr. X-Ray to do that. They go on a merry journey together to find this guy and capture this guy. And then they are intercepted by a new player who we don't know much about, is referred to as Oscar. Doesn't look like an Oscar to me. You ever seen an Oscar that look like this? That don't
low
look like an Oscar.
low Grinchy looking.
And that's that. So, Marco, what do you think of this one?
I had fun. I definitely felt the holiday spirit of it. But to get into it, I enjoyed the transition. I thought this was oh man, Santa Claus is on the run. Santa Claus is on Hyde Street. Oh no! And then it was he pulls the mask down and all that kind of thing. So I thought, I thought that was really cool. It was a great transition to get me into the world, like literally. And from there, it was a fun ride. I thought that the interplay between Pranky, Mr. X-Ray, and like the seemingly wanting to be able to leave Hyde Street, but Pranky being like, oh, I'm here to do like a not a job, but he's getting a satisfaction out of it, which is a little sick. It's a little twisted, and I like that. This guy this kid's fucked, man, and I think that it's a good I think it's a good tool because you get to see his madness. I'm interested in Mr. X-Rays. What's his play? What's his angle? I like what was it? The sea monkey thing turning into sea piranhas. There's a lot of cool like imagery being evoked here from classic TV, classic horror. You play on these like prank toys or like these gimmicks that you get ordering on over the phone type stuff that I like get incorporated here. And so all of that I think is thematic and helps to build the tone of this world. So I thought that Jeff's doing great here. And then man, Reese, he's working his ass off drawing fucking a street. What?
The amount of effort and detail that Yvonne puts into every page and panel of High Street is remarkable. It really is. He's been in the game for a long time. We've all read Blackest Night and everything else, and so it's cool to see him at what I believe is the height of his powers. Um, the visuals here are stunning. Like the things that are supposed to be creepy are fucking horrifying. And
Yeah.
for me, generally, I don't like not a big horror guy when it comes to comics, just because I don't feel like it works as well for me without the sounds of horror. Here, it's all about the faces. It's all about the faces. It's all about Pranky's eyes. It's all about his teeth. It's all about like these little details that make that little fucker a menace and a monster and a creep.
Yeah.
And it's just so well done on all pages by Yvonne. But what really got me here, I thought the script was fucking phenomenal, man. I opened this up and Jeff Johns is doing his best like um Twilight Zone impression.
Yeah. Yep.
I was pretty into that opening piece.
Yeah. Strong. I think a strong all around. I mean, even the interactions between Pranky and Mr. X-Ray, it's all playing to build to something, and at the same time, I think the script keeps you moving. Like there are some instances where things get a bit wordy, like when they're at Mr. X-Ray's place and you have like fat balloons, quite a lot of balloons, but regardless, because we're intrigued about like what they're talking about and how that affects who they are and what will happen on Hyde Street, I think you're engaged throughout that.
Yeah, and I feel like the dialogue never lagged for me because it's all poignant and pivotal bits of information that we need. Like, how does it work? How do you arrive on Hyde Street, for example? They have a conversation about that, Mr. X-Ray and Pranky do. And so basically Mr. X-Ray says one bad choice is all it takes to end up on High Street, Pranky, and everyone's made a bad choice in life. And Pranky says, yeah, sure, but not everybody ends up here. You see, I figured out the real reason people get drawn to Hyde Street, but I'm not telling you. That was a question we had early on. How do people end up on Hyde Street? If you don't open the door for somebody behind you, if you don't get up off the train for an old lady, if you walk across the street, are you ending up on Hyde Street? Like, what does it take? What kind of sin, what kind of bad deed brings you to this place? And that gives us a little bit more detail that there is something specifically bad that people do to bring them here, and we don't know what it is. I'm cool with that. Just tell me that you're thinking about it
Right.
as a creative team.
Yeah. Signal that over so that way it's at the back of my mind as well, for sure.
Yep.
And even like the scorekeeper piece, the scorekeeper said I had to, that so there's like a tally, there's like a depth to which potentially you can or have to, I guess, reach. There's a threshold for you to be able to transition into that potentially. So like, to your point, like what is that threshold? What do I have to do to do that? And does that mean that it kind of like forces people to like be their best? And for me, that kind of went down the road of like, well, then, are you free to make your decisions because ultimately there's retribution? I don't know if it's gonna get
Right.
into those things, but you can spin out with that.
Yeah. And, all of these reasons, coupled with what I thought was an incredible twist, a fun twist, which is where we get this Oscar guy, and he jumps into the fray, and his whole deal is to like not allow them to kill this fake Santa. From like, he doesn't kill him. He shows him the error of his ways and like how messed up what he did was. And I really appreciated that. Like, oh, okay. So there are other ways to go about, this than just murder.
Yeah, Hyde Street has a different function. It's not singular, and
Right.
I like that the seemingly the matinee monster Oscar comes in and he's the good guy here. So that's also a cool dichotomy. It's the typical monsters, heart of gold hero type thing. But does that mean and they're all on like a spectrum. It feels like Pranky's on the evil end, Matinee might be on the good end, and then X-Ray's somewhere in the middle.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And the there's a scoreboard at the on the last panel shows us that the matinee monster, who was Oscar, has no referred to as deliveries. So no kills, no souls taken, none of that. He's not playing this game.
Right.
And it looks like we're going to get his origin in the next issue, and that's really exciting because we don't know, like, because there's so little that we know. Everything that we get teased with is tantalizing, and it's like that could mean anything. I want to see that, so I'm into it. This is the book that I came into this prepared to say is my pick of the week.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I see it. That was a contender.
I love Hyde Street. I think Hyde Street is fantastic.
It's one of the stronger new launches from Ghost Machine.
Yeah,
It's been a lot of fun.
definitely.
Um, Cole says, no, sorry, Lucas says, Pranky is definitely lying when he said the scorekeeper said I have to. He has his own agenda. He has enough kills to leave, but isn't. I think he wants to become the scorekeeper. And I like the theory crafting. One, that it's indicative of, hey, we have an entertaining book, but also, does that mean that we have does that mean that Pranky is trying to get to that point. Maybe he just likes it. Like it adds potential depth to these characters.
Real quick, Marco, just could you change the graphic to reflect Hyde
Oh,
Street?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry.
No, it's all good. Yeah, I think everybody should be reading this. I think Hyde Street is fantastic. Um, it's a great book, and unfortunately, based on the poll results, um, it doesn't look like a lot of you are picking this up, and that's a bummer because I truly believe you're missing out. Reading Big Two is great, and we all love Big Two, but there are other phenomenal books out there, and I think this is one of them. And so I think I'm gonna stick. I loved Superman this week, but I think I'm gonna stick with Hyde Street as my pick of the week
Valid.
because I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
Uh, let's end the poll because I don't think it's gonna get any better for Hyde Street. Didn't buy or read is 56%.
Yikes.
Pull is 30%, so that's decent. Pick of the week is 6%, and pass is 6%. Why, if you're not buying it, why are you not buying it? What is what's not connecting? Did you try it and not like it? You know, are you worried? Do you not have enough money to add this to your list? What's up? That's what I want to know. Uh, Fantastic Four is one of the only comics I've ever read, maybe the only comic I've ever read that I can think of, that's 28 issues deep and as accessible as anything. You only need to know about the Fantastic Four to read this book. Like, generally have an idea of who they are. Everything else will come. And every issue is standalone, more or less, so you can jump on with any issue and not feel lost because they're telling a story unto themselves. Like, yeah, the issue that dropped this week is showing you that the Fantastic Four are worried about what Doom is doing. Well, assuming you don't live under a rock, you know Doom is doing something, right? So this issue will make perfect sense to you. I think Fantastic Four, like, there's no reason not to buy it other than simply not liking it, having tried it and not liking it. But otherwise, pick it up.
Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. Sound cut out for a sec, but it's back.
Oh shit! So that means they didn't hear me.
I think they might have heard you. I think they might not have heard me.
Okay. Matt says I'm new enough to Big Two comics, just haven't jumped into indie stuff yet, but definitely looking for that one series to pull me in. Yeah, I mean, honestly, man, there are so many good non-Big Two books right now. Like there really are. Whether it's coming from Ghost Machine, whether it's coming from Image, like just throw out what's your favorite non-Big Two book right now?
Right now,
Yeah,
Rook.
Rook.
Rook's fire. This was really good. Hyde Street's been really good. Um, oh, I always pick up Kanto. For anybody who's not familiar, it's just like these like little creatures, knights in these magical armors. I highly recommend that to anybody. It's fun adventure comics. I'm trying to think what else.
Indie recommendations are tough because like it's so much more personal. It's like what genre do you want to read? You know, what kind of reader are you?
Yeah,
But for me, without treading any of the ground that Marco walked on, I will say, um, shit, what's the name of this book? Department of Truth. That's the best James Tynion book. That's the best James Tynion book. That book is phenomenal. But you kind of have to like vaguely be into conspiracy theories and have an idea of that world in order to read Department of Truth, or at least fully embrace it. And then the Sacrificers, I'm also really loving. The Moon is Following Us. That's a great Daniel Warren Johnson, Scotty Young, George Corona. I think I forget who's on that book, honestly.
Kaya.
Kaya is top tier. I will sing about that book until I can't sing anymore. And Tin Can Society. That's a great. In fact, Tin Can Society feels like a superhero comic in the sense that the main character kind of is like Iron Man, but in every other way it feels different. But it's grounded in something that a superhero reader could accept. So I think that's a great option.
Yeah, those are really good. Um,
Bug Wars, yeah.
Bug Wars. Oh, Bug Wars is gonna be real good when we finally get a chance to talk about it. Um,
Yeah.
Comic Book History says crossover. If you want a indie with Big Two feel, I recommend that series. That was really cool. And then Nier says, is there a dedicated image app like Marvel Unlimited? Unfortunately, there's not. There is no other kind of centralized app for any other publisher. Manga is probably going to be the most centralized that you'll get that's outside of DC or Marvel.
Yeah. So hopefully they can figure that out at some point. Matt Fisher with the 5 spot. Thought about it. Forget Captain Compass. Can we get a Rex the Wonder Dog JLA issue? Okay, so remember how I said who the fuck is Captain Compass? Who the fuck is Rex the Wonder Dog?
Obviously, Rex.
Is that Wonder Woman's dog? Like whose dog is that?
And I just typed in Rex with 2 X's because I feel like that feels good.
Right. That would make sense. Is Sacrificer still good? CW Gordon asks. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Um, Sarcastic Enchilada says we need a Netflix for comics. I definitely subscribe. Yeah. We we've been talking about that on this podcast for literally years. I don't really see it happening because there's not enough incentive for the big two to play ball, but we'll see.
Oh, dude, Rex the Wonder Dog is just a superhero dog. No associate created before crypto.
He's not anybody's dog.
Not he's just a dog. Created by Robert Kaniger, who did created Wonder Woman, and then Alex Toth.
Yo, he's a wild dog.
He's dead as just a fucking dog. That's crazy.
That's awesome. Yeah, they should bring him into the fold. I would like that.
Do it.
Cosmo says I got to do my due diligence on indies for sure. Not sure if should grab a trade or pick a new current series. Honestly, bro, what you need to do, what I recommend, is read the synopsis. The creative teams for all the books that we shouted out, the chat shouting out, are all good.
Yeah.
If you don't care about any of their names and they don't mean anything to you, that's fine. Look at the synopsis for something like Bug Wars. Look at the synopsis for something like, Tin Can Society or, Rook. And look at the preview pages. You're going to know. If you look at Rook's interiors, if you look at those preview pages and you don't like want to bust, for lack of a better phrase,
Excuse me.
I don't know what to tell you.
Excuse me.
It's phenomenal art. I looked at that Rook Exodus interiors and I was like, "Oh my god, how is this what we're doing in 2025?" This is the level up, I guess.
Yeah.
It's insanity.
I always recommend an Image Volume 1. You can they're $10. You get 5 to 6 issues. The big ones that are going to be there are ask somebody to recommend you an Image number 1. You're going to likely get a good recommendation. They're going to give you like a Wick Div. They're going to give you a Saga, that kind of thing. And then from there, those can be your entry points. If not, come back, have a conversation. We can figure that out because there's such a world of comic books outside of the big two that is deserving of your reading.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Lucas Hallner says, is Saga worth getting in trades? Never read it. I think yes, from a story standpoint. However, I would say I think the compendiums probably make a lot of sense to get, and not just like the single floppy trades. They're beautiful, and I don't think you'll be disappointed by the story of Saga. At least the first like half of it. It's pretty tight.
Yeah, that's gonna be really good.
Yeah. Absolute Overthinker says, Sean filling in for Tyler. Thanks for wearing multiple hats. What GD host, gang? So actually, Marco is doing what Tyler normally does today. So hats off to Marco. I am but a lowly host. Marco was handling the tech side of things, so he deserves all your flowers, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Okay.
Oh, you wait, you press something.
Hello?
There you go.
Okay. Sorry about that. The only thing we have left to do here is the stack. Sean Stacked is a segment where we talk about the amount of books and the books that I pulled this week because I buy a lot of comics. And the game aspect of it is you guys leave a number in the chat that you think represents the amount of books that I bought this week. Whoever's closest without going over can have any of the Marvel codes to any of the books that I bought this week. And by the way, if you haven't read Fantastic Four, that would be a great choice if you happen to win. And if nobody picks it, reach out. I'm like disappointed. You guys don't hit me up enough to get these codes. I'm trying to give these fuckers away.
Free comics, people. Free.
They expire. Yeah.
Do
But
they?
at the same time, I know a lot of people don't read digital, so
Oh, true. Do they actually expire?
yeah, they do.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Uh Entertain Me with the 5 spot says, "What wasn't Rex underdog? There's no need to fear. Underdog is here." Yo, I love Underdog. Oh my God. I'm probably like, there can't be too many people younger than me that have an affinity for Underdog. That's so old, but I love it.
Yo, underdog. Y'all making me Google shit.
Hell yeah, dude. Aaron Ruiz says no technical difficulties without Tyler. Character progression live. Well, we had a hiccup here or there, but
Yeah, a little snafu.
yeah, Marco's holding it down. Now you guys drop your numbers in the chat. I am going to talk about my ongoing saga
Oh
of my
yeah.
LCS.
Have
So,
okay, yeah,
go
yeah.
ahead.
No, I would say it.
Okay, so last week on Friday we had Pals pulls, and I told you guys I started my pull list with my LCS and everything like that, and it was a disaster. I couldn't get my books until Thursday. I got them on Friday, which sucked ass. Uh, and it was a bad experience for me. I enjoy the process of browsing and all that good stuff. So on Friday, I put up a poll that said, should I keep my pull list or should I cancel it? And overwhelmingly, you guys voted for me to cancel my pull list. So live on the air, I did that. Cool.
Good job. Good job. We're proud.
Right. That same night, I received a charge
Oh, what the
for
fuck?
this week's books,
No.
even though I had already canceled. So, nothing I can do about that. They already charged me. They done got me.
That's crazy.
Right. It is fucking crazy. And I hope that doesn't happen again. My only assumption is that because it was Friday is when they, charge and
Right.
get everybody's list together. So my assumption is that because it was Friday, they just didn't receive the heads up that I'd canceled and quick enough. Maybe I canceled too late.
But it's not like an automated uh, like delete book or something.
I don't know. It was late on Friday. It was probably around this time Friday.
Yeah.
Maybe it had all already processed. So Wednesday was yesterday, obviously. I don't go to my shop because they don't have it ready. They will not have it ready on Wednesday. And I'm like, this is probably the biggest comic book shop that exists in the world as far as chains go.
Yeah.
How do you not have your books ready on Wednesday for the Wednesday Warriors? It's BS. But that's the gimmick. So I go today, and my books are ready, and I had to deal with. And this is me on my soapbox. You see the grays. I'm not a spring chicken, all right? I had to deal with a little motherfucker
Oh, I know.
who was working, keyword working, behind the cash register. He's more interested in whatever chit chat he was into with another coworker than handling business, to the point where his coworker had to tell him yo, there's people.
No way. That's embarrassing, dude.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He's a younger kid. Okay, he looks, we've got the same skin tone. That makes me feel good and stuff like that. But he's a dick. As soon as I said I had a pull list to pick up, he goes, "Oh man, I should have stopped after the last guy."
Oh, wait,
I am
what?
not kidding. I am not kidding.
What?
I am not kidding. I shit you the fuck not. I have never in my life.
That's bugged out. What?
Yeah. So now I'm getting annoyed because
Yeah.
it's like, how disrespectful can you be? I'm here to spend money. Why are you acting like this? But he gets my pulls, and at this shop, the process is to let you see the books to decide if you want those covers and yada yada yada. So I noticed that they pulled for me Wolverine Revenge. Spoilers, but you guys know I'm pulling that, but not the red band version. So I'm like, shit. Can I swap this out? Now, last week when I did this, when I went, they presented me with all the books and asked me if I wanted to make any exchanges. This guy did not ask me. He's just started,
Like,
scanning away.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So we get to Wolverine Revenge, and I'm like, wait a second, can I swap that cover out for this one? Because I don't want that regular bullshit. And he's like, oh,
Oh, dude.
I gotta call a manager. So he calls the manager. The manager's like, oh, the red band version is more expensive. And I'm like, okay, so can I just not get the other version? And she's like, oh, yeah, that's no problem. But the guy won't stop scanning books.
Right.
So she's like, can you stop scanning? And he doesn't stop. She says
The
his name.
manager says that.
Yeah, yeah. She's like, can you stop scanning for 5 seconds? And he's like, oh, why? She's like, because I need to take this off the account. So he finally stops. She takes it off the account. We're done. I pay for my books. I say thank you, or I ask for a bag to carry my books. I got books and I got bags and boards. So it was a lot of stuff. I asked for a bag. He doesn't say anything. He just like makes a face, like when you're inconveniencing somebody,
Yeah.
that face. And he charges me $2.17 fucking cents for a bag because I really need to be paying that kind of money to get
Paper bag?
a shitty tote bag.
Oh,
It
yeah. So
says,
okay.
yeah, like I just doxed myself, whatever. Like I need to be paying $2 for a fucking bag. I'll never do that again. But all that, I spend my money and I say thank you, and the motherfucker doesn't say word one. He turns his head.
Damn. Back to the
Like,
conversation.
no, not even. He just turns his head away from me. Like I asked him to do something outside the scope of his job parameters.
Yeah.
And every part of me had to hold back from saying, "Hey bitch, you work here. This is your job. Everything that happens within the confines of this place and you behind that cash register is your job."
Responsibility.
So needless to say, not only am I hoping that my pull list is kaput because I never want to deal with that again. That guy that's what happens on Thursdays. That's what you get on Thursdays at my shop. Wednesdays, they bring out all the good people. Thursdays, they bring out the bums and the stragglers.
Yo, everybody
And
else.
Unfortunately,
The
that's
not
what I had to experience.
the not hard workers on Wednesdays because they know they gotta be ready for the warriors coming in. Like, oh, I got all these books. They gotta make sure everybody's doing the right thing. Scan, scan, scan. That's crazy, dude. That's bullshit. That's disrespectful, honestly.
Of course it is. Of course it is. And me personally, I kind of like friction every now and then. And so I'm not like opposed to calling somebody out for shit in public. But this is the one place where I really like it's sacred. The LCS is sacred. There should never be drama or problems at the LCS. I tell you guys about the things that I experience because I don't want to start problems at my LCS. I don't want to get banned. I'm a sheriff. I'm a sheriff. What do you think they're gonna do to me if if I just start yelling at people in the LCS, especially people who work behind the counter?
And you know what? You're someone who goes there regularly, right? So you can have an expectation. You can have you know what it's been like on other days where that's not been your experience. But somebody new, that's off-putting. That's potentially a new reader gone because, oh damn, like I'm embarrassed or I'm shy or I'm new to this. I don't understand. You're not creating a helpful and friendly environment for the comics community.
Exactly. Exactly. Like, do you even go here, bro? Do you understand this, bro? Do you know how we do in this environment, bro? Clearly not. I was very disappointed.
Yeah, hear that, man. That sucks. I'm sorry, dude.
It's all good. I have had like the last 4 weeks of my LCS trips, as you guys know, have sucked ass.
Adventures.
Yeah. Hopefully, we can return to our regularly scheduled programming this Wednesday, and I can be the person I want to be, the person who has to go and fight to get the cover that I want, the person who has to deal with other people's grubby COVID hands, the person who has to wade through the sea of assholes who want to read comics standing right at the racks. I want to be that guy because being this guy sucks.
Being the good person in the story is the hardest part.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bullshit.
It is absolute bullshit. Let's see some more of those numbers in the chat. I want to see them. I see a lot so far. We'll read some of your comics, or your comments. Excuse me.
Send us your comics.
Please don't. Unless you have good taste. Steve Canaris sent me for Christmas RoboCop versus Terminator. Excellent. I'm so glad you sent me that. Like if you've got good taste, yes, but otherwise, please.
That's so funny. Lucas says, Sean, come to Albany. Zombie Planet is a great shop. It's worth 3 hours on the train. Trust.
Bro, no.
Yo.
I have never been to Albany. I'm trying to avoid Albany. Basically north of like Riverdale. That's as far as I feel like going.
Yo, Riverdale's so nice.
I know. My girlfriend used to live there.
That's right. Very, very nice.
Triggerdale. You ever hear that?
I haven't actually.
Triggerdale. Yes. That's the nickname because Riverdale is so unsafe that they gave it the nickname Triggerdale. You know, Trigger.
Yeah.
It's a joke. Riverdale is actually an extremely safe neighborhood, but they do actually call it Triggerdale. Let's see. Lucas Halder says, Sean, I have a sub list. Last week they gave me dot deaths, but this week forgot issue 66. What the fuck?
Yikes.
That makes no sense. I didn't want dot deaths either.
Yeah, that's right. You got that.
Yup. I was annoyed.
Yo, James Jones, speaking the truth here. Sean needs to go to Forbidden Planet. Gotta ditch the other one, man. It's only like a couple more stops.
Yeah, but I got a whole thing going on. You know, it's my ritual. It's what I'm into. I'm comfortable.
Just get off the train like a little bit later.
But they don't have a discount either.
They don't actually. They might not. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta get my discount, bro.
I'm
not reading digital books.
All but $10. It's something.
That shit adds up. For this week's purchase, doing it through the pull list, I saved $7 and change.
Oh, really?
I could buy half a Jonathan Hickman comic with that money.
Wait, did they give you a discount?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Pretty
Yeah,
good.
you thinking about it?
No.
Oh, okay.
I like Forbidden Planet. I'll pay the full price of a comic. Thank you very much. I get it discounted on Comixology anyway. So.
Marowak Escuro says it's time to form the Comics Pals New York comic shop. I would love to, dude.
Yo, if only. That's a dream.
Yeah.
Gotta get good in with what's his name? Who's the shop owner over at Anyone Comics? Demetrios. Yeah. Yo, Demetrios. Let's do a little partnership. Hey, Demetrios. Let's do a little partnership. Where you at?
Not listening to this podcast. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Lucas Halder said, bro, you live in the city talking about I'm trying to avoid Albany. Hell yeah, bro. I don't want to go over there. I got no business there.
Mike Hank says, bro, make Forbidden Planet a vlog, please.
Wait, don't they have a blog? Or a vlog?
Probably, yeah. Who knows? You just show up there. Like, now I'm going to go on my, we're here at Forbidden Planet. Cut to a nice little picture of Forbidden Planet. Come back, do a whole thing. New series starting. Comic Book History says my LCS had this woman working there. She was crazy hot. Made it awkward trying to be cool buying comics and having to mess around with the pull list. Was cool when she told me about her girlfriend though.
Okay. Who cares? There are hot women walking this earth, bro. It is what it is, you know. Um, can't overreact to that. All right, Marco, can you handle the numbers, please?
Yeah. So we got uh here. So actually James Jones was the first one in very early. He reiterated, thank you so much with the rest of the group. It makes it easier to read. He started with 18. Nier had 15 for the stack. Rami with 16. Marek Ascuro 20. Luna 21. Matt Cosmo 23. C.W. Gordon, nice round 20. Banksy Main with the 69. Little too much there. Cole 14. Lucas 15. Dom 18. Sarcastic Enchilada 9. Is that 9 sarcastic? Comic Book History 12 books, but then actually amended it to 14. I'm gonna take the 14 because you throw out 3 numbers there. And Mike Hank with 16. Likes to be everything.
Okay. All right, very good. Mr. Funiverse said, Sean, did you consider maybe the employee was so enamored with your charm and roguish looks that he forgot all about protocol? First of all, Mr. Funiverse, I appreciate you saying both of those things, but I'm neither charming nor do I have roguish looks. So certainly that was not the matter. Plus, I need a haircut. Okay, let's go through it. We've got the 6 we already know about, right? We've got Void Rivals, number 16.
Nice.
One of the beautiful parts about getting my books on the pull list is that they come pre-boarded and bagged. I do love that.
No grubby fingers.
Except those of whoever bagged and boarded them.
Oof.
The Uncanny X-Men, number 9. World Tree, number 12.
There it is.
The Tin Can Society, number 5.
5?
For whatever reason, all the indie books came this way, like upside down or flipped. So the back cover is what's on the front side. I don't know why they did that way.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. World Tree didn't look like that because I flipped it around, but yeah. Phoenix number 7. I just look at that cover. I couldn't drop it.
That's pretty
I can't.
good.
I gotta catch up though. I did have to double dip and grab this copy of Absolute Wonder Woman number 4.
Nice.
Look at this cover.
Who is that?
Fuck if I know.
That's a nice cover, though. That's good.
Oh, they're doing the sweater weather variants. I didn't realize that Wonder Woman was a sweater weather variant. We got to tell Little Miss Marvel, they've got some horny covers here. Nightwing, Superman, Batman and Superman World's Finest. She'll like these. It's a cheesecakey.
Feeding the Gooners.
Yes, the women gooners deserve to have goon material as well. And we've got some women in our community who might enjoy that. Mystique number 4.
Oh, okay.
Been loving that. Detective Comics number 1093. The aforementioned Wolverine Revenge number 4.
Red Band. Hell yeah.
This is the last Red Band book, by the way, that is allowed to be purchased by me at least. But really, I think it should apply to the whole community. We should collectively swear off Red Band. But
protest Red Band.
Agreed. We've also got The Amazing Spider-Man number 66.
There it is.
It's a great cover. Also, Catwoman number 72. I jumped back on.
Oh.
It's Torrin Grondbeck. How could I not?
Oh.
Terminator number 4.
Okay.
I'm largely buying this at this point to support Sal Crivelli from Comic Pop.
Oh, right. There's a couple pages in it, right?
Yeah, literally. And Metamorpho issue 2.
I can't wait to read that one.
Yep.
Wow.
So that's 19.
Damn. 13 plus, yeah. All right, let's see who we got. I think I saw one. James Jones would be the winner if under. As would Dan Gomez. Um, I don't see any 19. Looks like yeah, James Jones with 18, the highest without going over. Alongside yeah, as mentioned, Dom. Who else? Who else? Who else? I saw one more. Well, congrats on the win. And Flaming Jelly Bean.
With the 18,
The
yeah.
18. Yeah. All right. Nice. Yeah, 19 comic book history.
Wait, so who won again?
James Jones, Dom Gomez, and Flaming Jelly Beans. They got 18 without going over. Nobody got 19.
Didn't Hound say 18 before he jumped?
Somebody said Mike did say yeah. Atomic Hound said 18, I think, before he headed out. So yeah, whole squad there.
So technically, Hound wins the game. But any of you who got 18, hit me up. We'll work something out, whatever it is that you want. James Jones has priority because he is the king of this shit somehow. Um,
Always,
he,
always.
he he retook his throne.
He said yes. The power of Jones.
CW Gordon said, y'all missed Xavier's secret. I didn't miss it. I avoided it like the plague. I don't want to know Xavier's secret. It's not as enticing as Victoria's secret. I don't give a shit.
Oh
I have
damn.
no interest.
I read it for the bands.
Yeah. All right, guys. The next time we're gonna be live with you, I know CW. I'm gonna read Green. I'm gonna catch up to Green Arrow, and then jump in with the next issue. I should have bought this one. I don't know why I didn't buy it. But the next time we'll be live with you is this Saturday. We're going to be joined by none other than Kieran Gillen at 12:15 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you guys show up for that. Come with questions, come with comments, leave them in our Discord. I'm going to put up an announcement thread here in just a few minutes. Leave super chats on that episode to make sure that you get your questions read and heard by Kieran first. Should be a great conversation. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, very excited for it.
Another in a series of hopefully great interviews that we're able to get out there. And yeah, thank you guys for being with us. You're amazing. We love you. We appreciate you. We will see you in the next one. Until then, take care, guys.
See you next week.